over and over again, and then they really should have won the championship in the East this season, but they fell short against Nova. This is the final chance, it feels like, or maybe not the final chance, but this is that chance for KK to finally have a championship of any sort, and of course, it's the biggest one.
Yeah, KK and Benzer Rydell were two of the biggest names that you and I kept hearing over and over and over when we were in China and Xi'an for WCG. And when you look at what he did yesterday here at the World Finals, coming out in that match and really helping Ponos secure their victory, taking down Azelis and Jupiter King back-to-back, almost getting the sweep, but then Bufnak was able to lock that down for Tribe. You know, you go and you look at his win rates, you look at the numbers from this guy on the season, and he's 13-8 in King of the Hill. He's 3-2 in the 1v1 set. He's definitely, he's basically, you look at this on paper, and iAmJP and KK serve very similar purposes for their respective teams.
So we're seeing Bowler, we're seeing Icewiz this time, so some similar looks for KK out of what we saw in the last deck, and looking like minor wall breakers for JP.
Yeah, minor wall breakers, a deck that JP definitely enjoys playing and probably gets a little bit of help with him and Ruben working this out together, since Ruben does love that archetype as well.
And good double duty there for the miner. Take care of the Valkyrie and the Inferno Dragon as well. Split wall breakers in the middle. That one on the right not going to connect, courtesy of the Tornado. 90 seconds away, and KK takes a big breath.
Yeah, I really like that dual lane push there from iAmJP. Really clean, confident, and patient cleanup there by KK. Very great game thus far.
Knight into the right-hand side. Icewiz working on the left on defense for KK. Bowler will take care of the Knight, pretty easily shut it down on the right-hand side.
I mean, there's clearly something about this deck that the Asian teams are just not willing to let go. There's something great about it that you and I just maybe haven't witnessed yet. We've seen it once, but otherwise you've seen it struggle a lot. But this deck has been played very heavily this weekend.
At least the overall concept of it, right? You know, this is a different variation from what we saw in the last game, and there's something about it. Look, it has a lot of value, and especially, you know, it might be a bit of a reaction to how popular E-Barbs were a couple of weeks ago. Of course, the Bowler does fairly nicely against Elite Barbarians. It does have some value against recruits as well, but that's not what they're running into.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty great call on your end, and you see JP connecting with another wall breaker set there, and archers in the back to clean up these skeletons. Really, honestly, one of the best defenses in the game for Graveyard. But now you see KK going all in, freeze, NATO to get some damage in, but a lot spent for very little.
Yeah, pulling out some fancy footwork. Miner goes to the front this time to turn the Bowler around. I don't think those wall breakers know. Nice job by KK to create a wall there and not let them get through.
Yeah, really clogging up the lane. You get the idea of what JP was going for, trying to get that miner in as soon as possible, try to get it probably behind the Bowler or Valkyrie, but if he were able to get it behind the tower, those wall breakers would have maybe been able to connect because the Valkyrie wouldn't have stayed right in its grill.
Now look at what JP just did with that fireball, Andrew. Not only did he get tower damage and Icewiz damage, but he put it so it would hit behind the Icewiz, so the Icewiz would be way ahead of the other supporting troops. A little choice there that has a big impact.
Yeah, really great call there, Rich. Really important move for iAmJP to make, because he's also playing the game that he needs to, right? This is a deck that's hard to get a ton of damage on tower early on, so you got to chip when and where you can, especially when you're playing against Graveyard Freeze. We've said it every single time Graveyard's been in the game. It can steal a game from you in a split second, so JP getting as much damage in early as he can, and then you see here KK doing a great job of continuing and cycling cards behind that tower so that the miner can't come in.
Fireball on the left-hand side one more time, and JP is straight up just spell cycling right now as much as he can on that left-hand side with 50 seconds left, knowing that one skeleton can be his detriment in this left-hand lane.
I mean, Rich, this is what I'm talking about with JP. I mean, he just looks so much more calm than normal here in the World Finals, which is a really fortunate thing for Team Queso. Again, great decision-making throughout, not losing his cool. This deck, though, is very difficult to keep the lead against Graveyard.
Final 25 seconds, 456 to 1180. A lot on the board right now for KK, and Graveyard comes in on the left-hand side. Miner to go to work for iAmJP. Graveyard freeze in, gonna hold on a little bit against the Miner. Does KK have time to get around one more Graveyard, or is that going to be it? Graveyard in, Miner on the left-hand side. Final 4 seconds. Can this get it done? Nope. Fireball in. JP is 2-0 in King of the Hill on the day.
Rich, this is a scary